welcome to a brand new episode of Two Sides to the Coin after a very long gap. I was away because of a personal emergency. I was not available for quite a few weeks, but I'm back, and today I want to talk about the issue of the MeToo movement. I know some of you might feel that this is a conversation that has come and gone, but that's precisely the reason why I want to talk about it, because this is a conversation that should never die out. It should stay in the public discourse. So let's talk about the two sides. In most of these cases, the women have come out after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, in some cases 20 years, as in the case of Tanushree Datta, for instance. So the argument is that when so much time has gone by, you cannot criminally prosecute the man, because depending on the country where you are, there are various rules, of course, but there is a time period during which a complaint has to be filed and a FIR has to be registered. Beyond that, in a case of, say, sexual harassment at workplace, you cannot prosecute the person legally. So where does that leave you? It means that it's just about your word against mine. The courts cannot decide. So who decides which side is correct? Because in all of these cases, the men in contention have disputed the accounts that the women have come up with. The other issue which is being brought out, and this is being brought out by feminists as well. By the way, there are hardcore feminists who are not in favor of this movement simply because they feel that it does not do much for women's rights. The reason they feel so is because their point of argument is that this is a movement that accommodates the stigma around a woman who's faced sexual exploitation, which is why you would give her a hearing after 5 years or 10 years. The fact that she was afraid of the stigma, or the fact that she was fearful of the consequences that prevented her from speaking up at that time, should not be encouraged. Which goes against the interests of empowering women. So if you allow a woman to stay quiet for a very long time and then come out, you are accommodating that doubt and fear, you're accommodating the stigma, something that feminists are not in favor of. And of course, there are others who feel that this is a very exclusive movement, in the sense that it's confined to elite circles. It's a very urban, city kind of movement where women who have, or people who have access to social media know about it. It's a hashtag movement. It does not have resonance beyond the elite circles, and therefore they question, what about the construction workers? What about house help? It's too limited in its impact and in its effects. Women have faced uncomfortable situations at workplaces. Women have faced sexual advances. Men in position of power have taken liberties with women, all across. It's rampant. So if you are telling me, why speak up now? Why are so many women coming out now? Well, better late than never. There has never been a time before where so many people, so many women have come out and spoken against this menace which does exist in our society. So we are not going to wait for all the other bigger problems to solve itself before we come to this. This is a problem. It is an issue of making workplaces safe for women. You want to have dignity at the workplace. Having worked in the television industry for over 15 years, I have personally one can say experienced or seen such instances happening, and therefore I want to take up this question of the skeptics about why come out after so many years. Well, what happens is, the pattern typically is something like this. The first time somebody makes a lewd comment, and especially if you are a newbie, you're new to the profession, you've just come out of your fresher out of college, when a lewd comment is made, first time you would think, was that uttered in that kind of meaning? Did I hear it wrong? The second time you will go and confide in someone, another colleague or a friend, who will tell you, just ignore, that's how the person is, that's how it is over here. You're not the first one to have heard something like that, focus on the work. It's been normalized, and that's the reason why I feel that MeToo movement is necessary. I look at it as a disinfectant process. You need to spray out those bugs and pests from the workplace, and you need to sort of disinfect the workplaces now, and more you have women coming out and speaking, the more there is a chance that of that happening. That's what is my firm belief. Well, you heard the two sides, and of course I would love to hear where you stand and what you think about it. So do write into me. I'll be waiting to hear from you.